Everyone in the hospital waiting room thought my parents would rush in at any moment. No one expected me to check Instagram and see my sister's post. Perfect family brunch with mom and dad. Posted 20 minutes after they were told I was in critical condition. I woke up in the ICU with tubes in my arms and a nurse adjusting my IV. "Welcome back, Jordan," she said gently. "You gave us quite a scare. How are you feeling?" My head was pounding. My vision was blurry. "What happened?" "You collapsed at work. Severe hypoglycemia leading to seizure. Your coworker called 911. You've been here for 6 hours." 6 hours. Did my family? The nurse's expression changed, became carefully neutral. "We called the emergency contacts in your phone. Your parents, your sister. We've called multiple times." "And?" "Your mother answered once, said they'd try to make it. That was 4 hours ago." I stared at the ceiling, processing. They weren't coming. I pulled my phone from the bedside table with shaking hands, opened Instagram. And there it was. Posted 20 minutes ago. My sister Brooklyn, 26, with a champagne mimosa. My mother and father smiling behind her. The caption? "Perfect Sunday brunch with my favorite people. Mom and dad know how to celebrate. Hashtag family first. Hashtag blessed. Hashtag Sunday Funday." They'd been tagged at The Grove, an upscale brunch spot 15 minutes from the hospital. While I was in the ICU, while the doctors were calling them, while I was seizing and unconscious and alone. They chose brunch and Instagram. Before I tell you what I did next, let me ask, if your family ignored you during a medical emergency to celebrate your sister's Instagram aesthetic, would you confront them or would you let them keep posting while you plan something they'd never forget? Drop a comment, because what they didn't know was that I'd been documenting their favoritism for years, and I was done being invisible. My name is Jordan, a senior graphic designer at a marketing agency, and I've been my family's afterthought for my entire life. My younger sister Brooklyn is 26, influencer, 95K Instagram followers, and lifestyle content creator, and my parents' entire world. Growing up meant watching Brooklyn get everything, while I got reminders that life isn't fair. Brooklyn got a new car at 16. I got my grandmother's 1998 Honda. Brooklyn got college paid for. I worked full-time and took out loans. Brooklyn got an apartment in the trendy part of downtown. Rent paid by our parents. I lived with 3 roommates in a questionable neighborhood. Brooklyn posts curated content about her blessed life. I design the graphics she uses for free because family helps family. Different daughters, different universes. But I accepted it. Built my career, stayed healthy, stayed independent. Until last Sunday. I'd been feeling off for weeks. Dizzy, exhausted, losing weight without trying. I mentioned it to my mother once. She said, "You're probably just stressed. Brooklyn says you need to do more yoga." I didn't have health insurance when I first noticed symptoms. I was between jobs. By the time I got coverage through my new position, I'd convinced myself I was fine. Sunday morning, I was at the office finishing a rush project. Deadline was Monday. The client was important. At 11:47 a.m., I stood up from my desk. The room tilted. I grabbed the desk, missed. I remember hitting the floor. Then nothing. My coworker Marcus found me seizing, called 911. The EMTs arrived, tested my blood sugar, dangerously low. At the hospital, they discovered I'd developed type 1 diabetes. My body had been shutting down for weeks. The collapse was my system finally giving out. "You're lucky your coworker found you," the ER doctor said. "Another hour and this could have been fatal." They admitted me to the ICU, ran tests, started insulin, called my emergency contacts. Emergency contact 1, Mom. Called 5 times, answered once, "We'll try to make it." That was 4 hours ago. Emergency contact 2, Dad. Didn't answer. 7 calls. Emergency contact 3, Brooklyn. Didn't answer. 4 calls. I was in the hospital for 6 hours before I woke up. Alone. When I saw Brooklyn's post, I felt something inside me break. Not sadness, not hurt, just clarity. I screenshotted the post, noted the timestamp, cross-referenced it with my medical records, showing when the hospital had called them. Hospital call to parents, 12:14 p.m. Brooklyn's perfect family brunch post, 2:47 p.m. They'd received the call that their daughter was in critical condition, and they'd gone to brunch anyway. Then posted about it. Then tagged the location. I scrolled through Brooklyn's Instagram. The post had 3,000 likes already. Comments flooded in. Your family is goals. I wish my parents were this fun. You're so blessed to have them. My mother had commented, love you, baby girl. Best day ever. My father had commented, my princess. Brooklyn had replied with heart emojis. Best day ever, while I was unconscious in the ICU.
They showed up at 6:30 p.m., 7.5 hours after the first call. My mother walked in first, holding a Starbucks cup. My father behind her, checking his phone. Brooklyn, trailing, filming on her phone. Jordan, oh my God, are you okay? My mother's voice was loud, performative. Brooklyn was recording. Guys, we're at the hospital visiting my sister. She had a medical emergency. Family first, always. Heart. I stared at them. You came, I said flatly. Of course we came, my mother sat down, putting her purse on my bed. We got here as soon as we could. Traffic was terrible. Traffic, I repeated. Yes, Sunday traffic is always awful. You were at the Grove. That's 15 minutes away. My mother's smile faltered. How did you... I held up my phone, showed her Brooklyn's post. You were at brunch, while I was in the ICU. The hospital called you at 12:14. You posted this at 2:47. Brooklyn stopped recording. My father cleared his throat. Jordan, we didn't realize it was that serious. I had a seizure. I was unconscious. They told you it was critical. Well, we're here now, my mother said, her voice taking on that edge she got when she was annoyed. You're clearly fine. There's no need to be dramatic. Dramatic. Yes, you're awake, you're talking. Obviously, it wasn't as serious as they made it sound. I looked at the 3 of them. Starbucks cups, designer handbags, perfect makeup, Brooklyn's phone still in her hand. Get out, I said quietly. Excuse me? My mother's voice went sharp. Get out of my room. Leave. Jordan, you don't speak to your mother that way. I almost died, and you went to brunch. For Instagram. Get the fuck out of my room. The nurse appeared in the doorway. Is everything okay? They're leaving, I said, not taking my eyes off my parents. We're not leaving, my mother said. She's being irrational. Ma'am, the nurse's voice was firm. The patient has requested you leave. You need to go. Security was called. My parents left, protesting the entire way. Brooklyn got it all on video. What my family didn't know, I'd been keeping records for 3 years. Not because I planned revenge, but because I was starting to think I was crazy, that I was making up how bad it was. So I documented it. The favoritism files, a cloud drive folder containing financial tracking, parents' contributions to Brooklyn, $127,000 over 4 years, rent, car payments, credit card bills, business expenses, parents' contributions to me, $0. Times I'd loan money to Brooklyn? 7 times, totaling $8,300. Never repaid. Times I'd loan money to my parents? 3 times, totaling $4,000. Never repaid. The Instagram evidence. Screenshots of Brooklyn's blessed family posts, photos of family vacations I wasn't invited to, holiday celebrations I wasn't included in, family dinner posts from restaurants I didn't know they'd gone to. The birthday evidence. Brooklyn's 21st birthday, parents threw a $15,000 party at a venue. Brooklyn's 25th birthday, week-long trip to Hawaii, all expenses paid. My 25th birthday? Text message. Happy birthday, can't make dinner, Brooklyn has an event. My 29th birthday, 2 months ago, forgotten. Entirely. No call, no text, no card. The entrance response pattern? Brooklyn's food poisoning, actually hungover, 2 years ago. Parents drove 2 hours at midnight to bring her soup. Brooklyn's anxiety attack, panic over Instagram follower drop. Mom stayed with her for 3 days. My car accident, 18 months ago, rear-ended, minor. Can't leave work, you're fine, right? My hospital admission, critical condition. Brunch instead. The graphic design labor. Number of graphics I'd designed for Brooklyn's Instagram, 247. Amount paid, $0. Market value of work, $18,000 plus. Brooklyn's response when I asked to be paid, but I'm your sister. That's what family does. 3 years of documentation, hundreds of screenshots, bank statements, text messages, timestamps, everything. The doctors kept me for 3 days. Diagnosed, type 1 diabetes. Autoimmune condition, will require lifelong insulin and management. I'd need daily insulin injections, continuous glucose monitor, regular endocrinology visits, dietary changes, medical supplies. Expensive. My insurance would cover most of it, but the copays, supplies, and lifestyle changes would be significant. I was scared, overwhelmed, processing a chronic illness diagnosis alone. My parents called once during those 3 days to tell me Brooklyn had gotten a brand deal and could I design the graphics for free? I said no. My mother said I was being selfish during Brooklyn's big moment. I hung up. That's when I made a decision. I wasn't going to confront them, wasn't going to have a big dramatic fight. I was going to do something better. I was going to let them expose themselves. My mother called. Family dinner's Sunday, 5 p.m., don't be late. I almost said no. Then I thought, one last time. I'll be there, I said. I arrived at 5 p.m. exactly. Brooklyn was already there, phone out, filming. Jordan, we haven't seen you in forever. She hugged me for the camera. Guys, we're at family dinner. My parents were in the kitchen, didn't acknowledge me when I walked in. Dinner was served, lasagna, garlic bread, salad. Brooklyn filmed the entire meal, grateful for family time, nothing better than Mom's cooking. My mother beamed at her. No one asked how I was feeling, no one mentioned the hospital, no one asked about my diabetes. Halfway through dinner, my father spoke to me for the first time. Jordan, Brooklyn needs new Instagram graphics. The brand deal requires 15 custom designs by Friday. You'll do them, right? I set down my fork. No. What do you mean no? I mean no. I don't work for free anymore. My mother laughed. Don't be ridiculous. She's your sister. And I'm a professional designer. My rate is $150 per graphic. 15 designs would be $2,250. Brooklyn looked up from her phone, shocked. You're going to charge me? Yes. But I'm your sister. And you've never paid me. For 3 years. $18,000 worth of work. For free. My father's face got red. This is about money? Your own sister? This is about respect, which none of you have ever shown me. My mother stood up. Jordan Ellis, you apologize right now. No, I said calmly. I pulled out a folder from my bag, set it on the table. This is a breakdown of every dollar you've given Brooklyn over the past 4 years. $127,000. Rent, car, credit cards, business expenses. I laid out page 2. This is every family event I wasn't invited to, every vacation, every birthday dinner, every holiday. Page 3. This is every time I needed you and you weren't there, including the hospital where I almost died, while you were at brunch. The room went silent. You have built your entire family around Brooklyn and her Instagram aesthetic. I'm not part of that aesthetic, so I'm not part of your family. My mother's voice was shaking. You're being dramatic. I have type 1 diabetes. It's a lifelong chronic illness. I'll need daily insulin for the rest of my life. Did you know that? Silence. Of course you didn't, because you never asked. You called once in 3 days to ask me to design graphics for free. Brooklyn was crying. Jordan, I didn't know. You didn't want to know.
3 hours after I left, Brooklyn posted on Instagram. Some people don't understand what family means. My sister walked out on us tonight over money and jealousy. It breaks my heart. Hashtag family first, hashtag toxic people, hashtag setting boundaries. The post went viral. 15,000 likes, hundreds of comments. Family over everything. Some people are just jealous of success. You're better off without toxic people. My parents commented supporting her. Brooklyn was playing victim to 95,000 followers. So I responded. I created a post on my own Instagram. 500 followers, mostly coworkers and friends. I posted the hospital photo. Me in the ICU bed, tubes in my arms. Caption: This is what I looked like when I almost died from undiagnosed type 1 diabetes 4 weeks ago. The hospital called my parents multiple times. They went to brunch instead. Then posted about their perfect family day 20 minutes after being told I was in critical condition. I've attached proof, hospital call logs, their Instagram posts, timestamps. For 3 years, I've documented the favoritism, the neglect, the free labor. Tonight, I told them I was done. They're calling it jealousy. I call it self-respect. I attached the ICU photo, screenshots of Brooklyn's brunch post with timestamps, hospital call logs, the financial breakdown, the family events I wasn't invited to, the text messages showing them asking for free work. The post exploded, shared 40,000 times in 24 hours. People found Brooklyn's Instagram, flooded her comments. You went to brunch while your sister was dying? This is disgusting. Deleting your post won't delete the screenshots. Brooklyn's follower count started dropping. 95K, 92K, 88K. Brand deals reached out asking for clarification. My parents' friends saw it, their church saw it, their coworkers saw it. My mother called, screaming, "You've ruined Brooklyn's career! How could you?" I posted the truth. If the truth ruins her career, maybe her career was built on lies. Delete it, right now. No. Jordan, I'm your mother. You're the woman who chose brunch over my life. You don't get to call yourself my mother anymore. I hung up. Blocked their numbers. Changed my emergency contacts. Week 1. The fallout. Brooklyn lost 3 brand deals. Companies didn't want to be associated with the story. Her follower count dropped to 73K. She posted an apology that was really just excuses. It made things worse. My parents' friends started distancing themselves. The church asked them to take a break from volunteer leadership. Week 2. The extended family. My aunt, Dad's sister, called me. Jordan, I had no idea it was this bad. Most people didn't. They only saw what Brooklyn posted. Your uncle and I want you to know we're here, whatever you need. Turns out, the extended family had suspected favoritism for years, but they'd stayed quiet to keep the peace. Now they were reaching out, apologizing, offering support. Month 1. The reckoning. My parents sent a letter. Jordan, we don't understand why you're doing this. We've always loved both our daughters equally. We're sorry you feel neglected, but this public attack has damaged our family reputation and Brooklyn's career. We'd like to sit down and discuss this rationally. I wrote back. I posted facts, timestamps, bank statements, hospital records. If facts damaged your reputation, maybe your reputation was undeserved. You don't love your daughters equally. You've given Brooklyn $127,000 and me $0. You came to brunch instead of the hospital. You've used my labor for free for 3 years. There's nothing to discuss. You made your choices. I've made mine. I never heard from them again. Month 3. Brooklyn's rebrand. Brooklyn tried to rebrand. Mental health journey, learning and growing, family is complicated. But the internet doesn't forget. Every post had comments. Remember when you went to brunch while your sister was in the ICU? She eventually deleted Instagram entirely. Last I heard, she got a regular job, marketing coordinator, making $45K. Welcome to reality, Brooklyn. Month 6. My new normal. I'm managing my diabetes well. Daily insulin, glucose monitor, regular checkups. I got a promotion at work, creative director, 95K salary. I moved to a better apartment, 1 bedroom, just for me. No roommates. I started dating someone wonderful. Alex, a teacher, who thinks my hospital story shows strength, not drama. Aunt and Alex invite me to family dinners. Real ones, where I'm actually wanted. I'm building a chosen family. People who show up when it matters. I ran into my mother at Target. She looked older, tired. Jordan, she said quietly. Hi. How are you? I'm good. Really good. We miss you. I looked at her. Really looked at her. Do you? Or do you miss the free graphics? The family member who never asked for anything? She didn't answer. I have type 1 diabetes. I inject insulin 4 times a day. I wear a continuous glucose monitor. I've had 3 episodes of dangerous low blood sugar. Do you know
any of that?
No, she admitted. Exactly. You don't miss me. You miss the idea of me. The convenient daughter who made you look like you had 2 kids instead of 1. That's not fair. You chose brunch over my hospital bed. Nothing I say will ever be less fair than that. I walked away. She didn't follow. Epilogue. For the invisible children. If you're reading this and you're the invisible child, the one who's told to be understanding, to not make waves, to accept less because your sibling needs more, I need you to hear this. You are not obligated to be invisible. You are not required to sacrifice yourself to maintain peace. You are not dramatic for wanting to be seen. Your family trained you to accept crumbs, to be grateful for the bare minimum, to never ask for what you need because your siblings' needs matter more. That's not love. That's exploitation disguised as family. My parents didn't come to the hospital because they didn't think I mattered enough to interrupt brunch. Brooklyn posted about perfect family time because my medical crisis didn't fit her aesthetic. They didn't change until I made it impossible to ignore. And even then, they blamed me for the consequences of their choices. Walking away from family is not cruelty. It's self-preservation. Some people will only value you when you lose them. And even then, they won't value you. They'll just miss what you did for them. I'm the daughter who almost died while her family was at brunch. And I'm the daughter who decided she'd rather be alone than invisible. Best decision I ever made. If this story hit you, drop a comment. Are you the invisible child? The one who's supposed to understand? The one who gets less because your sibling needs more? Share this with someone who needs permission to walk away. Because family isn't biology. It's who shows up when it matters. Subscribe for more stories about people who chose themselves over dysfunction. Because some families don't deserve you.